celebrate life on reggae to reggae.com. And we are still in our days of proposals from the king. And today we're looking at another aspect of the proposal. So I'm just going to give a break so that we can listen to this proposal from the king. And I'll be back in 2 shakes of it upstairs.
Long before I laid the foundations of the earth, before I stretched out the canopy of heaven, I was thinking of you, and I chose you to be the object of my love. Before you ever knew me, I knew you and I loved you from the first moment of your life. My love for you has existed before time itself, and it will continue when time is no more. You are worth so much to me. In all the universe which I created, you are my most treasured possession. There is none like you. I left my throne in heaven just to have you. Though I was king, I was not willing to remain as king if that meant not having you by my side. Oh, my beloved, I gave up everything to have you. I cast aside my crown and removed my robe of royalty. I became nothing more than a servant among men. Because you would not come to me, I came to you. I left heaven behind and came to earth just so I could be near you. Though I was rich, I became poor. Though I was strong, I became weak like mortal man. And I did this for you. The cost I paid was great, but I have no regrets. You are worth everything I gave. You are my darling. You are my pearl of great price. One glance from you, and I am ravished by the power of love. Don't think I came to redeem you because I pity you. No. I have done what I have done because I so greatly desire you. I did not pay the ultimate price because you are worthless. I gave it all because you are priceless. And now, I offer you a king's proposal. These are the things I will give to you, if only you will agree to become my eternal bride. I promise to take from you the heavy burdens of life and clothe you with garments of praise. Once you become mine, I will never cast you out or abandon you. You will be an orphan no more. I will never leave you or forsake you. You will have a home with me forever. And I will heal your broken heart, and my anointing will break every yoke that binds you. Instead of ashes, you will wear a beautiful garment of my grace, and I will anoint your head with the oil of health and joy. I have so many plans for you, beloved, and all of them are good. I know that sin robbed you of your beauty, but my love will restore you completely. Yes, the old things will disappear, and I will make all things new for you. You will become as lovely as the moon in a procession of stars, a reflection of my love. All of your life I have been drawing you to me with cords of love. I spoke tenderly to you, calling you to come to me. Now I want to sing over you my songs of deliverance. Once you come to know how deep my love for you truly is, you will live with confidence. My love for you is perfect, and perfect love will cast out all of your fear. If you should ever lose faith in me, I will never lose faith in you. When you fail, I will be there to help you. When you fall, I will carry you. The smallest sparrow looks to me for help. Won't I care for you as well? You're worth so much more to me. Your mind will rest in perfect peace, free at last from doubt and confusion, and nothing will be able to pry you from my arms, because I will hide you in the shelter of my love. You will nestle safely beneath my wings. Those who try to harm you will answer to me, and no plan that they form against you will succeed, because I will give you the keys of my kingdom. You yourself will have the authority of my name to open and close every door before you, from east to the west, from the north to the south. Everything will be given into your hand. You can ask me anything, anything at all, and I will give it to you if it serves my ultimate will. Yes, go ahead and ask me, and I will even give you the nations as your inheritance. And you will rule over the powers of darkness, trampling them beneath your feet. Those who bless you, I will bless. But those who come against you shall surely fall. And I will write upon you a new name for all to see. You will be called the City of God, the New Jerusalem. Kings will come from the ends of the earth just to see your beauty. And they will bring their wealth to you from the far reaches of the earth. And there you will be, sitting upon my throne, and wearing the crown of my everlasting favor for all the world to see. Beloved, I have prepared a place for you in my Father's house. I want you to be where I am. We will walk together in the cool of the day, strolling arm in arm in the garden of God, in paradise restored. And you will eat from the tree of life that is there. Can you trust the promises I make to you, my love? I'm not a man that I should lie. I will watch over my word to perform it on your behalf. I will never change. I will always be the same. Yesterday, today, and forever. Oh, most beautiful one, my love, my dove, my beloved. If you will accept your king's proposal, all these great and precious promises will be yours. My bond is my word, and my covenant is sealed with my own blood, which was given to purchase you. I will love, honor, and cherish you all the days of your life. And I will be with you always, even to the end of the world. This is my proposal. What will you answer?
Oh my, these words have been spoken by my master. They will come to pass. With all this injustice, this world could never last. Oh, somehow I know things have got to change.
On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience.
Oh my, these words have been spoken by my master. They will come to pass. With all this injustice, this world could never last. Oh, somehow I know things have got to change.
Welcome back. And we have just listened to the King's proposal. And what a proposal! It has encapsulated all the different areas of what we would want to receive as a part of the bride. But today I'm just going to focus on one little part. We looked already on the first section and the second phrase, and we are now into the third phrase, and it says, before you ever knew me, I knew you, and I loved you from the first moment of your life. My love for you has existed from before time, and it will continue when time is no more. And through this section, we're going to be looking at God's, pardon me, everlasting, unconditional love. And you know, when we look at this, and when we recognize that it was before we were known, it brings me to the issue of predestined. And that is the title of our show today. Predestined. Predestined. Pre-planned. Based on his foreknowledge of what needs would be in the universe at the time, he predestined us to be what? Conformed to the image of Jesus. That's what we're predestined for. And a lot of persons think that this is an impossibility, right? Because Jesus was God, and Jesus had this, and Jesus had that. Guess what? We were planned to be able to do everything that Jesus did. How? By the same power that he did it. Because he did all of this by the power of the Creator's Spirit, his Father, and how his Father told him what to do, and he just listened and asked and followed directions. That's how he did everything, by following the directions given by his Father. And that's how we were pre-planned, predestined to operate. And so we don't want to go to a place where we think that we are not capable of doing these things. We aren't. Not in our own flesh, but as we recognize that we have been created for a purpose, created for the purpose of being conformed to the image of God, which is in Jesus Christ. And if we really are able to engage and wrap our arms around the fact that we have the same resources available to us, then we will realize that we are not just predestined, but we are destined to win. Remember that song? Jesse Dixon. Destined to win. And whether we succeed or we fail has to do with whether we patch in to the plan that was already laid down for us before the foundations of the world. So, as we go and approach this whole our concept of predestination, we need to use the 4 rules of Celebrate Life, and they are: know where you're going. 2, know your driver. 3, pay as you enter. And 4, enjoy the ride. Good. So, long before the foundations were laid, he predestined us. And before you ever knew me, I knew you. That is what the King is saying to us and proposing that we do. So, my love for you has existed from before time, and it will continue when time is no more. Now, that concept is something that we have to constantly remind ourselves, because guess what? We tend to very often approach love from a human standpoint, where we think that we are loved when we do what is right, and not loved when we do what is wrong. But if it is that this love is pre-existent and will continue after time ends, but time is not going to end, right? Then we have every assurance that we do not have to judge ourselves now. Understand what I mean by judge ourselves? We don't have to condemn ourselves then, but we judge ourselves by assessing where we are not lining up with this plan and coming into line. It's as simple as that. It is really very easy. The concept is easy. The action is easy if you decide it's easy. Because the other day I was talking to a lady, and she was talking about how hard it is to go through the suffering. And I said, but that's not consistent with what God says. We will have suffering. We will have trials, tests, stress, etc. But the way to deal with these is to recognize that they are a part of the process. And what process is it a part of? It's a part of the process of engaging joy to overcome those things when they face us, so they don't have a negative effect on us. So when you look at it from that point of view, then it's pretty easy to overcome, to go through, to go around, to go above, to deal with it. And you know, one of my favorite verses: no stress has taken you, but such as is common to man. God is faithful. He will not allow you to be stressed above that which you're able, but will, with the stress, make a way of escape that you may be able to bear it. And you know, the other one is count it all joy. When you fall into diverse tests, temptations, tests, trials, stress, whatever, count it all joy. And once you do that, then you are able to reckon it as if it were not there and superimpose the joy. Not way down the road, but right at the time of engaging in what is coming against you. So I think that that's the way it is sort of meant to be, because that's sort of the way that Jesus did it. That's the way he engaged and successfully endured. I guess it is an endurance, but an endurance with joy, right? So we have to have the right perspective as we look at these situations that face us. They're going to face us. You understand? And so we have to be realistic in how we handle them. Pursuing the path I was predestined to follow. That is knowing where I'm going. I was created as a solution to the challenges that face my family, that face my school, my job, my purpose, my church, my spiritual family, my community, my nation, and my world. We have to make an impact or a contribution to the solution for all of these entities. Anything that we are engaged in, we are part of the solution. And so if you continue to verbalize and reiterate the negative of the situations, then you cannot be a part of the solution. You continue to perpetuate the challenge rather than to be the reason why this challenge is going to dissipate, right? A contributory factor. We are all contributory factors. We're not going to do it alone. But as each joint supplies what it is made, manufactured to be, created to be, then the whole thing will be solved. So we don't have to compare ourselves with other person's inputs, because they must be different from ours, because we are unique and different. We are all individuals. And so my contribution must be a little different from yours, but it needs to synchronize. We need to have that synergistic thing where I contribute, you contribute, I benefit from your contribution, you benefit from mine. So we need to have that viewpoint if we're going to be successful in carrying out, pursuing the path we are predestined to go. So know where you're going, then know your driver. We are empowered by love to become a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. And I don't today want to focus on the issue of the priests or the holy. I want to focus on the fact that we are a nation and we're a kingdom, and what that says for each individual within the mix. So come.
Oh my, these words have been spoken by my master. They will come to pass. With all this injustice, this world could never last. Oh, somehow I know things have got to change.
Since the first public demonstration of radio by Nikola Tesla in 1893, no one ever thought of putting the 2 hours of music together until we created reggae2reggae.com.
Oh my, these words have been spoken by my master. They will come to pass. With all this injustice, this world could never last. Oh, somehow I know things have got to change.
Welcome back. And in our next segment, we were looking at knowing your driver. But we are going to be putting together knowing your driver and pay as you enter in this segment, because we need to not just know our driver, know what he's empowering us to do, but actually going out and doing it. Because that really is maybe the most difficult decision, right? Because I am here to tell you, ain't nothing faces me that I don't have an answer. Inside here, the challenge is often putting it into action. Because remember what we spoke about, how and where the Spirit speaks to us, and we mentioned the fact that my mind did tell me, I had an idea, a thought about the possible solutions, and then the other thing is I had a gut feeling. It's a sort of a intuition, something way down in the creative forces of your loins, where you wonder if this is how you should go. It has nothing to do with logic, and that is why it is in the feeling creative center, right? And so we need to learn to distinguish those, that they are not, again, something we ate that gave us fluttering stomachs and nervous stomach, but the fact that we are so excited about the solution that we have inside of us that we want to put it into action. So, empowered by love to become a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. We covered this in a previous thing where we looked at the priestly function and what it meant to be holy. But today I want to focus on the communal good, if you want to put it that way. as a nation and as a kingdom, a group that has national and kingdom principles by which we need to operate. And it is as we focus on these that we are going to be successful in carrying them out. So let us look first at what are these national and kingdom principles that we need to keep. God has empowered us not to come up with the rules and regulations and a charter and a list of things to do. He has already given us the commandments. And you know, we did another program on this where we looked at all the 600 and odd commandments that are given in the Jewish instructions. And then we broke it down to the 15 or 17. And then we broke it down to the 10. And then we broke it down to the 3. And then for us simple folk, we broke it down to the 1. And that's in the Shema or the Shema. And it is, hear, O Israel. Physical Israel, spiritual Israel. The Lord thy God is one. There is a singleness of purpose, a singleness of function, a singleness of activity, and a singleness of foundation. So once we look at those 4 things, purpose, activity, foundation, and whatever, we need to understand that if you want to focus on the purpose, then we are looking at one undergirding principle. Yeah. And it is also the embodiment of who God is. And you got it. God is love. And if we use love as the foundation for all our activities, if we use love as the reason we do everything, the foundation, the reason now has to do with carrying it forward, and the purpose that we have been called to be channels to the world around us, to every situation, and not just the people, but the environment. If we think, is this a loving action? Then you will not litter the street. You won't take a piece of sweetie paper and throw it on the road and unwrap the sweet. If we think of our environments, we won't just throw garbage outside through the window of the home. We will keep our environments clean, and we will utilize the spaces that we have around us to create things of beauty, or to create things that have some utilization in terms of, you know, at least we can use them to at least produce food, you know, to produce comfort, to produce something that is usable, or something that we can get something from, because you don't have to be able to utilize physically something for it to have a use. It can be something that you can admire, and every time you look at it, it brings you into a place of peace. It gives you joy. You know, it makes you feel more healthy. It makes you feel more wealthy. You recognize how wealthy you are. And so this is how we can share love with even things that are inanimate, even situations and concepts, because they provide us with something, right? And we can extrapolate and pull out of them things that are going to nourish our soul and our spirit. So it's not just about the physical feeding of the appetites, but we need to recognize that I am a spirit. I live in a body and I have a soul which interacts. That is where all the interaction takes place among us. So as we look at empowered by love and being a carrier of his presence, being a nation and a kingdom, right? Then what is the purpose of this kingdom? What are the principles that this nation will operate by? There are the major principle, of course, the foundation is love. And then what are we to be, to do? To be carriers, right? Of his presence, channels of his love. Carriers of his presence, which means that wherever we go, the presence must shine out of us. And whatever we do is to be a channel of God's love through us to all who we interact with or wherever we go. So when we talk about being light and salt, we need to understand that it's not in our own power that we will be able to do it, but being a carrier is where we need to be. And I have 3 more minutes. I have to check my time to make sure I'm not running over. And so let us just look at the actions of the group. The actions of the group, whether it is a national or a smaller grouping that we're looking at. Remember, that every group action is made up of individuals. And it has to always start at the individual level. Because we are individually empowered by a spirit that can link us together. But we are individually empowered to carry out an individual plan that only the spirit can coordinate and bring together. So a lot of times we are looking for the linkages, and that's not our responsibility, it's not our job to do the linkages. We just need to focus on what we have been given to do. Once we focus on what we have been given to do, then we are the only ones who have the ability to carry out that particular job, because each job is tailor-made for each individual. We were created with all these differences that empower us to carry out our individual plan. And the understanding and embracing of the dynamics of a group without becoming homogeneous. Everybody must dress the same way, look the same way, speak the same way. Boring, right? That is what that leads to, boredom. And it also leads to a sort of lethargy where I am not allowed to express my individuality, but I am being kept confined as a round peg in a square hole, or a square peg in a round hole, whichever one you want to call it. But it's important for us to understand that we are individuals. We are all different. And it is as we pursue our individual dreams, visions, what we were created to do, that the networking and management of the group comes from the Spirit. And so this is why we've got to be true to our own downloads from the Spirit. I wonder if I should call that an upload, because really the Spirit within that is uploaded into our minds. Nobody is down or look up, but the point is this, that we are given this direction from inside, not from outside, from inside. And once we follow that path, we just know that we know that we know that it will be the right path. And the fact that, you see, a lot of people share their visions and their ideas with somebody else, and there's nobody else who's going to be totally in agreement with your idea because they do not see things the same way. But you need to share your ideas with people who can recognize that your idea is going to fit into their idea as a cog, as a, in the wheel, etc. Talk more about this in the next section. Soon come back.
Oh my. They will come to pass. With all this injustice, this world could never last. Oh, somehow I know things have got to change.
On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience.
Oh my. They will come to pass. With all this injustice, this world could never last. Oh, somehow I know things have got to change.
We're back in our last segment of Celebrate Life. And we're doing the King's proposal. We're looking at all the things that the King is proposing to give us, to supply us with. And we've got to get ourselves ready to accept that proposal, right? And so this is why we had our 15 days of preparation. And now we are looking into the King's proposal in the different segments of all the things he's offering and getting ourselves ready to engage in these things. So today we're looking at predestined. We are predestined to win. And we also have within us all the capabilities that we need to be able to engage all our abilities and differences. Because that was the idea that we were looking at in the last segment. The issue of every single one of us being different and being able to look at our differences as an advantage, because it is to supply what I do not have. Your difference is to supply what I don't have, and mine supplying yours. So don't ever try to become a part of a homogeneous group. That's why I hated uniforms. I remember when I was at school, my uniform always looked different from the rest, because I would make sure it did. And then when I started to work with the bank, again, we weren't in uniforms, and we used to wear these pastels. I call them insipids, but they call them pastels. So we would have a pink and a peach and a powder blue and a light green and an orange, all pale colors that we wore as little dresses, little plain A-line dresses. We didn't wear suits then. Banks didn't wear suits at that time. Only air hostesses used to wear suits. way back, then. And I remember I hated those little things. First of all, they never have no waist and they just look like a bag. They were nicely made and so on. I said, well, I'll get a bunch of grapes or a bunch of cherries, or I would wear stockings to coordinate with them. So I would wear orange stockings with my orange one and blue stockings with my blue one. And then I would get a color for everything. Cinnamon brown and get it, right? And my dear, when I turned up at work, personnel wanted to know why it is I was not in the regulation stockings. And I said, where in the rules is it that I have to wear regulation stockings? Well, it just said you had to wear stockings, but I mean, you need to wear stockings that match your skin. I said, it says who? Well, until you find that in regulations, I shall be wearing my blue stockings with my blue clothes, and my pink stockings with my pink outfit, the orange stockings with my orange outfit. And, in life, anytime there is good leadership, they learn to appreciate the differences of those who they lead. And this is not just in an organization, it's also in the home. And that's one of the things that I really regard and love my mom and my dad. But because you interacted more with your mom, because she spent more time there, because she worked in the home teaching music. And so we spent all our time when we were at home with my mom. And I'm telling you, she always, it does not matter how the disparity between our capabilities in a particular area. We come out of a musical family, and all of us had to do music. No, my sister was the musical genius. I was the pinger. I had to do the music. I liked it, but I preferred to dance, but I had to play. So I had to play, and I had to do my little violin, and I had to do my voice. And so I had to do the guitar. I had to, it was hard work for me. But every time there was a visitor to the home, my older sister, would come and just, Chopin and blah, blah, blah. And wonderful! Ooh. And then it was my time when I came in and did the ping, 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 wrong note, ping, ping, ping. And my mother would say, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I thought, what's wonderful about that? But she never failed to have me showcase what I could do, regardless of the disparity in the level. And I got the same applause. Now, my brother was a different thing. Every 3 months, he had a different instrument. It was the trumpet, then the trombone, then the steel pan. Of course, violin went through the door, way down the line before. But every other instrument he could find, he would bring it in to try it out. And he got the same agreement, acceptance from my mom. We had to put up with all them loud noise. He would lock up in the bathroom, but of course the bathroom was not someplace. And we had to listen to all that stuff. And she just congratulated him on everything he attempted, regardless of the level of the attempt, because it is the attempt that is important. So just remember that those who are caregivers of those who are developing their capabilities, they need to be affirmed, accepted, no matter how it sounds. What we have to reward is the attempt, because it is that which determines how the child is going to approach anything that they have as a part of their portfolio. If they go into a job and they can't do it well, it doesn't matter. They must be graded on attempt, because until they are accepted in their attempt, then their capability at the particular thing will never improve. So I want to warn those parents who tell their children, say, you're not going back to dance class or you're not going back to football until your grades come up. That's a sure way to get a dip of the grades. We need to understand how to use interest in one particular area to fuel the promotion of another area, because we all do well at things we're interested in, and we can transfer that capability of improvement and learning at the cognitive level just by osmosis from something we are interested in to something they do not delight in. It's just that they probably just don't have a natural ability and it's hard for them. And so, believe it or not, I was able to transfer my interest in dance and movement and gymnastics and all that into my ability to play the piano and do all those other instruments that I was involved in. And so when I went to study music, I didn't have a problem. I just rose like this, right up the ladder. I could not believe it. But then my interest overtook my rise later on in life. Anyway, more on that. But the issue is this, unconditional acceptance. And what is this all about? Remember, we were predestined to be conformed to the image of Jesus. And as such, the route that we take to get there cannot be predetermined by somebody else. It has to be our own route. And I'm not here to say that there are several routes to God. There's one route, predestined to the image of His Son, right? But how we navigate that route is going to be individually different. And so those who are in control needs to give people the liberty and freedom. This is when you have a good leader. You don't have to follow him. He gives you or her the liberty to express yourself, to develop the capabilities that you have personally, and to flesh it out, to grow into it. It's so important to understand that life is a process. It's a process of moving from here to there. And the process of getting there is different in every individual. And so this is how you know a good leader. They don't want to control. They want to liberate you to move in your own directions and your own fulfillment of your own purpose and your own plan, directed and controlled by the Holy Spirit. That Spirit that has been put within us. And I'm here to tell you, if you are a human being and you are alive at this time, then you know about the control of the Spirit, because we have all had it. We are moving in this direction and there's a little notch. Don't go there. Go this way. My mind did tell me, and I had a good feeling. So, as we proceed along the path that we have been predestined to move, let us understand it's an individual path. It's not exactly like anybody else's, but we need to use the Spirit within who is going to guide us along those paths that we have been predestined to operate. And we will win, because guess what? We have already won. See you tomorrow as we look at another part of the proposal from the King on Celebrate Live on reggae to reggae.com. Bye.
Oh my,
Since the first public demonstration of radio by Nikola Tesla in 1893, no one ever thought of putting the 2 hours of music together until we created Reggae to Reggae.com.